Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pathfinder Plays into another episode of random questions from the Dead Matter Discord. And before we get into it, I just want to say that I appreciate all the support, and if you guys like this video and find value in it, please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. Let's go. Blong asks, will there be high spawn loot areas like in Rust or like military bases? And Extreme Boost says there is going to be randomly generated bunkers with good loot, I believe, and a locked room in the police station with good loot but keycard required to enter. And this is absolutely true. There are bunkers that are procedurally generated. There are police stations, at least one in the current closed alpha build, I think, that has a locked room that you can get into. The game wants to incorporate puzzle-like elements to give further world interaction and increase the value of that which you are trying to achieve. Kappas ST was also hopelessly ignored by asking what the maximum FOV is. He will not find out right now. He then again asks, what will the maximum FOV be? And also, zombies can run in parkour? Question mark. And then N4 Rhett says zombies do more of a sprint than a run, and they do not run as fast as you unless you are injured, that is. But they can climb up on some obstacles to get at you, some lower ones I think. I'm not sure if they're going to be leaping over 10-foot walls, but they will be able to climb vehicles to get at you. And then finally, Extreme Boost comes back and answers Kappas ST's question about the FOV and saying, not too sure. Fantastic. But then finally, Havoc Hank, the savior of the Discord channel, does give a solid answer saying that 120 is the max on the FOV, and then he adds to the zombie vaulting and says that it's not necessarily parkour, but they will be able to climb over short obstacles. Lunar Halo 69 asks, will you be able to download and install the game a short time before server startup for closed alpha? Or will everything release and start at once? And Onyx says, no. Ilmatic92, any bunkers planned to be in the closed alpha map? And Onyx does say yes, which is going to be rather huge for the game because we are going to be able to experience every little bit that the game is going to be able to offer in terms of gameplay and exploration. Not so sure about quests. They may have some NPCs with basic voice acting in there and some fetch quests going on, but in terms of world exploration, it's nice that we're going to be able to test out the procedural bunkers. It's nice that we will be able to explore the city and the police department and the library and all these other Nira campsites. It's going to be quite the experience. SFPDL Gaming asks, so in a single player game, does the player go to sleep and it goes morning just like Minecraft? And Onyx says that is the idea. So just like in Minecraft, whenever it's nighttime, you can go back to your house, go to sleep, and then wake up at the new dawn. And it is the same way here, only with single player though, I'm assuming. Chrissy asks, well, your character needs rest so he could take a nap without having a day-night cycle. And Onyx does say that no, your character does not need rest. So you could arguably go the entire game without actually sleeping. And I think that's probably a good thing because gameplay over realism at the end of the day, it could be quite tedious trying to find suitable safe areas to sleep. But of course, I'm sure this will eventually be added on, because the game will have full mod support, and it would be nice to see on a more hardcore server. SFPDL Gaming asks, how many zombie types? Tell me in the form of a number. And Onyx says, I can't give a number to that. However, he says, will there be special infected? There won't be mutated zombies like exploders and huge hulking brutes, but there will be a variety of zombies that are special in more grounded ways. Stuff like construction worker zombies with protective equipment and military zombies with body armor. So you will come across quote-unquote special zombies, but they won't be fantastical. They will be products of the environment of their past lives. The one thing that I think would be pretty dope is if we came across a zombie who used to be a doctor and had a white lab coat on, or perhaps a lawyer zombie who was still holding on to his briefcase. Helen, are there going to be zombies that run and some that walk, or are they all generally the same? And Resort says both. They will run and walk and also crawl, I might add. Will zombies do any damage to vehicles, Helen asks, and Onyx says yes. And Extreme Boost asks, will the 18-wheeler have a huge trailer with it for a way of mass movable storage? And Onyx says, as far as I know, yes, box trucks at the very least. SFPDL Gaming says, is there any electrified fences? And Onyx says, I don't think they have mentioned that before. And then Blung asks, will there be bullet tracers or special bullets? And then he says no to that, which that kind of sucks. I think it's always really cool having those nighttime firefights, being able to see the tracer rounds flying through the nighttime sky. It's like little tiny lethal shooting stars. Blung asks, will you need to load magazines individually like Tarkov? And Onyx says, well, there's the flare round for shotguns. Don't know about Tarkov, but yes, you load magazines. And somebody texted me. Chrissy, is there a Beretta M82 in the game? And Havoc Hank says negative. SFPDL Gaming says, does Zombie have an animation eating human bodies? And Hank says currently no, but my goodness, if they could add that, that would be fantastic for immersion's sake. Helen asks, is there raiding on other players' bases / claimed buildings? If so, will they be able to offline you? And Onyx says yes to all of that. There is raiding, there is offline raiding and online raiding, and I'm just saying you better protect your base in the best way that you can with barricading, traps, alert systems such as cans and broken glass and things like that probably, and just things that make a whole bunch of noise to attract tons of zombies, because that way, if they get in, they may not be able to get out. Extreme Boosts asks, will every lock in the game be pick lockable? And Onyx says no. And SFPDL Gaming asks, does food go rotten if there is no fridge? Does a zombie irritated to lights? And he says yes, food does go rotten if there's no fridge. And yes, zombies are irritated, attracted to lights. Yes, that is that. Blong asks, will there be a radiation system, i.e. rust? And the limb damage system looks very similar to EFT. And Onyx says, no, there is not going to be a radiation system like rust. SFPDL Gaming asks, is the map an island or all of it is just a land? And for those of you who don't know by this point, there is no excuse, but the current setting of the game is Alberta, Canada, which means that no, it's not a stinking island. Goodness. Chrissy, how will you store loot in your base? And Onyx says, with any of the many containers available to you. Extreme Boost asks, so will people be able to get locks in such a way to have their base unraidable, or how will that work? And Onyx says, yes, Extreme Boost. Well, not unraidable, but unpickable. That is a very important distinction, but it is very nice to know that we can get unpickable locks for our bases. Blong asks, not to be judgy, I'm sure it was either a recording issue or something, but at the end of the devlog 11, the motion blur looks kind of excessive and there appears to be frame rate issues. I'm guessing that's just a minor issue though. And Onyx says, yes, that was already fixed. So that's actually very nice to know, because people were bringing up the PvP section at the end of the devlog, and it did look kind of laggy, but it's good to know it was already fixed. Blung asks, will there be features like leaning around corners or blind firing such as Tarkov, or just basic movement? And Onyx says you can lean, no blind fire though. That's pretty in-depth. I'm not necessarily disappointed that we don't have that, but I'm not too surprised. Gimme Bread asks, will there be a chest that cannot be searched by other players in the base, like safety case for players? And Havoc Hank says no, but it could be something like a safe that's hard to get into. But then my question would be, are there various types of safes, and can the player take the safe? SFPDL Gaming asks, can we open locked doors through keys, lockpick, and crowbar, or just shoot through the doorknob? And Havoc Hank says yes to the first two. I don't know what the more violent methods will involve. That would be pretty dope though, if we could crowbar our way through a door, maybe even foot stomp it to death, or maybe even shoot the lock. I know in Metro Exodus you can shoot locks that are on the opposing side of a door to get in and gain access. I don't think it would be that hard to implement, but perhaps they want to just not have it to make it a bit more challenging to get some good loot. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of this video. I'm sorry it has been such a long time. Before my last one, I got deployed to Minneapolis to help out some local security and PD guys deal with riots and the aftermath of that. So I'm back. Hopefully we'll get on a more routine schedule. Once again, if you guys enjoyed this video, consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell button, share this with your friends. Join my Discord as well. The link is in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one. Path out.